One thing you might not understand as a manager is that your employees create themselves through your eyes. This video has managers and HR specialists as its main target audience, and I'm going to share with you insights from developmental psychology that can help you understand the importance of positive feedback for happier employees and for eventual corporate growth. Those of you who have a child can instantly relate to this. Whenever your child does something, they look at you for confirmation. Look, mommy, daddy, what have I done? To feel seen, listened to, understood, and confirmed is an innate and vitally important life force that fosters a child's psychological development. As the wonderful Swedish psychologists Sofia Viotti and Kristina Andersson write in their book Compassion-Focused Therapy, a child creates herself or himself through their parents' eyes. How does this relate to the work of a manager? Managers are sometimes so occupied with pointing out the shortcomings of their employee that they forget to also mention how valuable and wonderful they are. The lack of positive feedback can result in your employees feeling inadequate. By criticism, managers hope for a better performance, but it might only get worse if you don't complement it with at least the same amount of positive feedback. Because just like children, your employees see and create themselves through your eyes as their manager. As poetic as this sounds, it holds. Your employees want to feel seen, listened to, and confirmed. They want to see the work they're doing makes a difference, and they want their contributions to be acknowledged. For some people, work is the only thing they got. It's the only reason they wake up each morning. Can you imagine giving this kind of person only negative criticism? That's why it's very important to not only point out the things that need improvement, but also things small or big that your employees have done well. If we go back to developmental psychology, children who constantly have to show how great they are to get their parents' acknowledgement, only to eventually always end up feeling like they're not good enough in their parents' eyes, develop a so-called defense mechanism, which in this case manifests itself through becoming addicted to accomplishments and success without ever really getting any emotional satisfaction out of it. This kind of state activates the drive system, which in other cases can have advantages, but in this case, it has a negative impact on the child, because for one, like I said, they're not getting any real emotional satisfaction out of their accomplishments, and secondly, and most importantly, the drive system is in this case activated by the threat system, out of fear that no matter how they deliver, no matter what they do, they're not going to be good enough in the parents' eyes. Children with this kind of upbringing also have a tendency towards perfectionism in order to avoid criticism. Now, how does this translate into your role and your work as a manager? If you have a management style where you basically only provide negative feedback, you're effectively telling your employees that they're not good enough in your eyes. As a result, your employees are going to be busting their asses off to deliver to a perfectionist standard and overworking themselves, or not manage to deliver to a perfectionist standard, and even if you seem satisfied with the result, they're still going to have their perfectionist voice in their heads telling them you're not good enough. This can partly come out of the fact that usually they see you as someone who is not satisfied and who only has criticism no matter what they do. And I'm not even talking about their anxiety levels in anticipation of your reaction / potential criticism. Either way, you have an unhappy employee, and I don't need to tell you that the performance just goes down when your employees are not feeling good. And I also don't have to tell you that your business loses when your employees are not feeling good. So what can you do as a manager? First of all, make sure that you deliver positive feedback whenever your employees do something well, be it something small or big. And what the ingredients of this positive feedback should be, I'll cover it in another video. Now I want to get to the second point, which is even more important. When you deliver negative feedback, also remind your employees how valuable, how wonderful, how talented they are. This is related to something called repair in psychology, and it usually occurs in the context of relationships. For example, if you snap at your child, you repair the relationship by going up to your child and just fixing the problem, being warm, and so on. More on that in another video, but an important part of the repair process is repairing the person's self-image. And that's the part that's most relevant for you as a manager. When you deliver negative feedback, you're compromising their self-image. But by also pointing out how wonderful and appreciated they are, you are repairing their self-image. Feedback is, of course, not the only way your employees feel seen and valued. The list can be very long, but I'll cover 5 of those in this video as I wrap it up. Number 1, ask your employees for their opinions and envisioned course of action. Don't be the kind of parent who only dictates, no questions asked. Create a team spirit instead of fostering the old, rusty, good-for-nothing type of hierarchy. Number 2, consult with them in their fields of expertise. There is a reason you hired them in the first place. Number 3, trust them in their ability to execute their tasks. Don't micromanage. The tighter you hold a bird, the more it wants to escape. Number 4, never compare your employees to one another, be it to the single individual, be it in a group, or not even in your head. Did your parents ever compare you to your siblings or to others? Then you know nothing good comes out of that. And last one, treat your employees not as machines but as humans that you care for. You wouldn't expect your child to just go and clean her or his room right after coming from school. First, you would make sure everything is all right with her or him. That's proper parenthood. That's proper management. I am an empathy researcher, and on Tuesdays I post about empathy and compassion with focus on, but not limited to, empathetic leadership, supportive organizational culture, compassionate parenthood, and compassion itself. In the near future, I will be giving a course on empathetic leadership with managers and HR specialists as the main target audience, and you're more than welcome to contact me if you're interested.